Welcome to another episode of CBD Answers, where we talk all things CBD. Today's episode, we will cover CBD and alcoholism treatment and whether or not CBD can help. It's brought to you, as always, by our friends at CBDhaven.com, your one-stop shop for all your CBD product needs. So, we've covered CBD in previous chapters, what it is, types and varieties that are out there, but some of its uses. Right now, people are using it for all kinds of things. If you got anxiety, just CBD oil, a tincture will fix that. Put it in your coffee or sublingual, why not? You're in pain, rub some CBD on it, why not, right? It's natural. You can't sleep, there's a gummy for that. More and more companies are coming out with CBD gummies that have melatonin in it that are supposed to help you fall asleep and stay asleep longer. So that got us wondering, what about alcoholism, right? It's one of the biggest, largest diseases, preventable diseases out there, and preventable causes of death. So can this magic drug or chemical of CBD help? So just some brief stats, and here's what got us thinking about CBD and alcoholism. Just looking at some of these stats, they're just astonishing. And according to the National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism, currently in the U.S. alone, 14 million adults ages 18 and up have some sort of AUD. By the way, alcohol use disorder is the new term as opposed to alcoholism. Only about 7.9% of adults who have had AUD in the past year have received some sort of treatment. First off, we all know treatment is very expensive, but there's also a stigma of going to treatment still in 2020, if you can imagine. Roughly 88 million people die every single year from alcohol-related causes. That's incredible. It's the third leading preventable cause of death in the U.S. Behind tobacco and poor diet and physical inactivity. And again, read that. It's preventable cause of death. We all know tobacco is bad for you. We all know poor diet and being inactive is bad for you. And then there's alcohol. People don't think about it that way, but it's right there, right in the top three. And in 2010, in the United States alone, the cost of alcohol misuse was $249 billion. That's not just on treatments and medicine, what have you. That's just the total cost of alcohol misuse. So, CBD and alcohol use disorder. So there's been a recent review of studies, and it was published in Frontiers in Pharmacology, and it shows some promise. And I'm just going to read this because there's no other way to convey all this information. But the results of the review was that experimental studies find that CBD reduces the overall level of alcohol drinking in animal models by reducing the ethanol intake. It also reduces motivation for ethanol, relapse, anxiety, and impulsivity. Moreover, CBD reduces alcohol-related steatosis and fibrosis in the liver by reducing lipid accumulation, stimulating autophagy, modulating inflammation, reducing oxidative stress, and inducing death of activated hepatic stellate cells. Finally, CBD reduces alcohol-related brain damage, preventing neural loss by its antioxidant and immunomodulatory properties. Okay, so am I the only one that's shocked by this? And why this is not being used everywhere in every single treatment center? Alcohol or CBD, use of CBD reduces the alcohol drinking. So people drink less. It reduces the motivation for alcohol. People just don't want to drink. Reduces relapse. Which, we all know someone that struggles with or has struggled with alcohol. Relapse in AA or relapse in any sort of recovery, it's almost a given. It's almost guaranteed. Very few people succeed on their first time. CBD reduces the rates of relapse. Anxiety. Anybody that deals with alcohol withdrawal knows about anxiety. And there's a lot of people that actually suffer from anxiety outside of that have nothing to do with alcohol. But It reduces anxiety, and it reduces impulsivity. I mean, this is a no-brainer for me. On top of all that, it has been shown that it prevents damage from the liver, and it reduces brain damage from alcohol. Why is this not on the front page of every paper? Well, now I understand. Today, there's a lot more on everybody's minds. But when this is all over, when the social distancing will be all over, we're gonna go back out there, and the rates of drinking or alcohol sales during this social distancing and this lockdown have been staggering. 55% increase in alcohol sales according to Forbes. 55% in a matter of a couple of weeks. So, unfortunately, coming out of this, we'll have more problems than simply the economy or our immune systems. There are going to be psychological issues up to and including alcohol use disorders. Why is CBD not being used for this? It boggles the mind. So, there's a couple of reasons, right? Number one, stigma. There's still a lot of stigma around CBD. If you go to the cbdhaven.com, there's a blog and it discusses some of the stigma surrounding CBD, and the myths and breaks those myths pretty easy. But there's still a stigma around it. People still think of it, hey, it comes from a cannabis plant, because it does. Remember, the hemp variety, but still a cannabis plant. So people think it gets you high, or people think it's a drug. It's not. And in AA, there is a stigma for people that use marijuana maintenance plan to stop drinking. The stigma is that when you go clean, when you go sober, you shy away from any mind-altering substance, and obviously weed or marijuana is one of that. Well, CBD is not weed. It's not psychoactive. It's non-psychoactive. It's not going to get you high. So I strongly urge everybody and anybody, we should look more into this. So the bottom line on CBD and AUD, well, it's a personal question, right? Studies will be out there. Studies will come out. We are just starting to learn more and more and to see the effects, but they will come out. So it's a personal question whether you want to try it or not. But why not? It's natural. It doesn't get you high. CBD has very few, if any, side effects, and the ones that it does have are not major side effects. Why not? So finally, where can you get some high quality CBD? Well, at our friends at the cbdhaven.com. If you scroll on down to the comments, click on the link below. That'll take you to the shop with a curated selection of their trusted brands, huge selection of different types of CBD products, and all three major varieties: full spectrum, broad spectrum, and CBD Isolate. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next wonderful episode of CBD Answers.